What up, world? It's LP. I'm sitting here with LeveL-Up magazine, where underground is mainstream. Man, like, it's crazy because I remember about like 2 years back, right? Graduated high school, loved music, write up, spit up since 6th grade. So 12th grade, that's 6 years already in the back. But by then I wasn't really, you know, recording songs. I write a verse here and there, I record to another rapper song, write a poem, do some poetry, you know, good stuff. But I never made a record. And that August of '07, I had leg surgery. My right leg was out the game, in the house for 6 months. From August to like January, February. And you don't go nowhere during the wintertime in Chicago because it's Chicago. And like, really, my only friend was my computer. And before then, I had like experience with, you know, this digital audio workstation known as Fruity Loop FL Studio. I'm familiar with it, but a little bit, but I wasn't producing wise. So I started messing with it. 3 months in, got a little better than good. Not great yet, but I started, you know, just messing with, you know, just like song, you know, concepts in there. And my guy, you know, bought another mic, $100 mic, and he had like this little rinky-dink, like $10 mic from like Best Buy or something. And he gave it to me, and I was just thinking like, what the hell can I do with this little ass mic, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know, man, that's all I really got. Like, friends will stop by here and there, but all I really had was music. And I think about all of them artists that I listened through that surgery, listening, like August, like a month later, that's when Graduation dropped. Graduation dropped, I'm listening to that album from Good Morning to Big Brother, day and through. I couldn't walk, so I couldn't just press stop. I had a remote to the radio. So I was listening to those records, and I'm just thinking, like, what would it take for me to get from step A to step B all the way down to finish the whole alphabet? And I'm just thinking, like, man, I need to make these records. So I started producing records. And they was like, they wasn't no sure hits. And I was sending them to my guy, Vo, you know what I'm saying, my brother, my partner crime, Mr. CEO. And I was just like, man, what you thinking? He'd shake his head, and he'd be like, this sound good, but keep working at it. And I had the little mic, cool edit. Coming around a song, I did a song, I think it was called Trouble. Horrible quality. Just one of my worst songs ever. I'm my worst critic, you know. More horrible song ever, but it was like my first record I did by myself with this $10 mic from Best Buy. This same $10 mic 5 months later will have me crown one of my joints known as Money. Real fast, like bongo, you know, infested type of beat. And we're later on to go and make this record called Fighting For, which pretty much solidified my whole step into production. And production as producer, artist, rapper, thinker, philosopher, anything and all sorts. So that was just that step into that. And it was great. Good feeling. When I'm thinking about all the possibilities in life, right? And I'm thinking about my story and my chapters that basically filling up my book so far. Like, I just pray to God I have many chapters left. And I'm thinking about all these chapters written before. And I'm thinking, you know, you got people here and there saying, basically, you know, you living a good life. Basically meaning you got some good chapters about you. Nothing great. You know what I'm saying? Nothing sticks out like Shakespeare yet, but you got some good chapters about yourself. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how can I complete these chapters? How can I make the middle, the climax point of this book just have a greater and better position just to come out and just be one amazing story? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go from being in the bed with 6 holes in your right leg, laying there, high off Vicodin pills, and just go right back down to step A. Like, you can only go up. And when I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm listening to this Ye album, Graduation, and I'm just thinking, graduation, you know, albeit I'm graduating from high school in '07 when it dropped. So I'm all about that whole mantra, graduation, going to the next step. And I'm just thinking, like, I really need to elevate this. I talk about it all the time. I spit good game, but talk is cheap where I come from. And I ain't had nothing to show for it. And when I was thinking, like, man, I need to go to the next step, I'm thinking I got so many stories to tell. Everybody's experiencing some sense of the same story, right? You know, you got people painting pictures here and there. You got a Van Gogh over here. You know what I'm saying? You got a Pablo Picasso over here doing his cubist type pieces. You got, you know what I'm saying, Michelangelo's in the back, you know what I'm saying, doing a life for life type of settings. You got everybody doing their own little thing, and it's just like, why do you feel like you need to be in the picture? Why do you feel like you need to represent? And at a point, I never had an answer. You know, it was just like, well, I feel like I'm important because I make music. But anybody with a computer in FL Studio and Adobe Audition can feel important because they have a computer. What can set me apart? And I start to realize like this growing trend when I would make a record, when I would feel that expression, when I would feel that intuitiveness is just say, hey, go with this line versus that line. How about you don't write right now? How about you just go right off top of the dome? One of my powerful records to date, the first verse was just purely off top, going straight through, and I'm just like, oh, that's solid, I'm keeping it. And I'm thinking, what can I do to reach to these people? Why can I be set apart? How can I be set apart? What makes me different? And I think about it, it's that connection made. It's that person telling me how this record affect them. This person saying, I saw that image. When you're telling me, take a look at me, tell me what you see, I'm thinking like, man, what do I see? You know what I'm saying? What point in this relationship am I at? What point of my life journey am I at? Who am I trying to be when I grow up? Do I believe in me? You know, do you believe in me? And it's those questions that we all grapple in life, from dark to light to tall to fat to skinny to ugly to reasonably attractive. Like, you think about that whole setup and you just want to reach those people and they reach back, and then you just know. You feel it in your heart. It's undeniable. Did Vicodin play a part?
All of the greatest artists were, you know, in some way fucked up when they were doing this.
The great stuff. Yeah, like,
you know, like Bret Michael, you know, like Tupac, all of them, they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. So
oh, I guess, I mean,
did that elevate you into like this other realm of like?
I wouldn't necessarily say or equate, you know, the controlled substance for pain reasons for my expression, but I would say just be in that position when you just know that you're alone. You know, sometimes like God places you in a situation where you're by yourself, and I think more than the Vicodin and more than the Tylenol 3 with the codeine in it, it make you all numb all over. You feel all different inside, but more than anything, it was just the whole isolation. God bring you out of just you surrounding, of you fitting in with your crowd, of you just living every day like it's just normal, from you just fitting in, from you becoming sore thumb status, to you becoming sore thumb status, to where majority of the places you go in, you stand out. You know, like a bright yellow hoodie, you stand out, like people spot you. So when I'm thinking about the Vicodin and all the other stuff, when I first started being inspired to say I want to make a whole record by myself, it wasn't, you know, really, you know, predicated off that. It was more so the isolation and feeling like I need to take this moment of darkness and create a story where light can just supersede anything that comes from the situation. So